Hello, how's it, guys? I don't know if anybody is here at the moment. It looks like there's 4 people here. Hey, guys, how you doing? Kind of a cold day today. Uh, but yeah, I hope you guys are in. Hey, how's it going? Kazor, Louis, nice to see you. We'll wait for everybody to join, and then we'll go through. I've got quite the lineup today to go through. I thought I'll just, switch on the camera and record the whole thing, document it on YouTube, so that everybody can get access to this kind of information. To be honest with you guys, I've tried a couple of of apple concentrates, but more the red apples. I think I've tried 1 or 2 or 3 maybe green apples, and it just never hit the mark for me. So um, I decided to. I've got a couple of green apples, but then I spoke with BLCK, with Rashad, and Rashad sent me quite a couple over. I just wanted to thank Rashad as well for all the concentrates that he sent me, because we've got in total about 14 green apples to go through today. So it's gonna be quite the ride. I've just got 3 devices ready. So, if it gets a little bit crazy in between, I'll probably have to do a little bit of VG cleaning. Hey, Devet, how's it going? Nice to have you here, man. Morning, morning. Yeah. So, what are you guys vaping on today? What are you vaping on? Uh, I mixed up holiday pie from Gakate. I know that Richard was raving about this one some time back, so I wanted to try it. I never tried it, and I'm quite surprised. It's really delicious. Uh, I will quickly put the link for this recipe in chat. If you haven't mixed this up, I can really recommend it. I spun it up last night, overnight, and of course, I very rarely wait for anything to steep out like a whole month or even 2 weeks before I start vaping it. But can recommend this one. So holiday pie, gag day. Let me see. Just searching for it quick. Here we go. I found it. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. So go check out this recipe over here. Hey Donovan, go check out that recipe there. Um, if you like custards, if you like things with vanilla and a cookie base, this is definitely going to be something for you. Desserts, desserty type flavors. So yeah, I'm not going to wait too long. I think we should get going. So I've got this in no particular order. I've also haven't done any research on any of them. In actual fact, I've got a couple of here where I couldn't even find, medians for single flavors, recommended mix percentage, like for instance, YY and Frandy and that kind of thing. Oh, Guy Piper, he sent me a message last week. So he was saying yin yang is the same as Flavor Express made by Xian Tiama in China. So I just want to put that up in front of this video. So if anybody's wondering where yin yang is coming from, that is where it's coming from. But of course, BLC has got it as YY or yin yang. So yeah, the first one I'm going to try out is cat green apple. I'm going to start with this one. I mixed it up at 5%. So let's give this a go. The testing environment over here is very similar. So I've got three devices. One is a Citadel. Actually, two of them are Citadels, and then one is a Hadley. And then because those are very close to each other in terms of flavor, same wire, same amount of wraps, same cotton. The only difference, might be that the one device is a Hadley, but yeah, I don't have three Citadels. That's crazy. Anyway, let's give this a go. Um, mm, I'm actually quite disappointed in this Cap Green Apple. Uh, it smells quite nice off the nose, from the concentrate. It's Cap Green Apple. It looks like this is one of the ones. Yeah, it smells quite nice from the nose, but it looks like this is a flight risk, so it's a little bit more expensive for this one. Normally, when it's got those 2 stars, from BRCK, it's a flight risk, and they're a little bit more expensive. Yeah, but this is unimpressive. It feels like it's got some sour or tartness to it, and a little bit of green, like a hint of green there. But it doesn't go all the way for me. But I do like the sour aspect, or the tartness of it over here. Yeah, it's quite bizarre. It just doesn't go all the way there. It also doesn't feel like it's. I mean, I mixed it up at 5%. You could probably crank it more, but I think it's going to turn into soap quite quickly. There's a likable sourness to this one, so it could be useful. I wouldn't throw this one totally out of, you know, um, usability sort of realm. I think there's definitely uses for this. Hey, how's it, Dean Taylor? Nice to see you here, man. Yeah, I could be doing all this testing on my own, and just making recipes. And I just decided that, you know what, let me just switch on the camera for you guys while I'm doing this, and then we can just talk, hang out, talk shit. So Kaiser reckons he's binned the new FA raspberry candy. 100% just binned it right after you tasted. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so raw green apple. So I mixed up this one at 4%. Just from a nose perspective, it's not really, it doesn't really give me a lot just from smelling it like this. There is a little bit, you know. So let's give this a whirl. Okay, so I do recall something about doing some testing on things like apple and pear. Now that I taste this, like a dustiness. I don't know if you guys have ever come across that, but with this raw green apple, there's a dustiness to it. Hey Liesel, how's it going? Thanks for hanging out with us over here, right? Yeah, Liesel, no sweetener. Just single flavor testing. I've got 14 concentrates that I'm going to run through over here. But it's good that I'm doing this live so I can record it, because the memory sometimes doesn't help. But if it's documented, I can just go back to this video and find the information. Raw is also fairly disappointing for me, a little bit more dusty, not as sour, um, you know, as there is, but I do think you need to crank this more than 40%. I think you probably need to go up with this. So I can do that, I can go up, but I just feel like I'm going to get more dust, you know? There's a sweetness to it, definitely a little bit more sweeter than Cap. There's a little bit more fullness to it, but the fullness is not reading apple, you know? So yeah, that is raw. Let me just clean this coil. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Is it better now? Let me just see something here. All good. Okay, cool. All right, I just want to check something. Hold up. Okay, well, hopefully that's okay. Anyway, so that was raw green apple, a little bit dusty, a little bit sweeter than Cap green apple, but still not that impressive. Okay, so the next one over here is YY. Okay, so Dean, this is you guys just joined now, but this is Flavor Express also orders from, well, makes use of Xian Tiama. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, in China. So this is Chinese. So Yin Yang, of course, Chinese. This is rebranded on BLCK. I've enjoyed a couple of these Yin Yangs. I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff, this. The fruits are quite good, and guys saying that the tobaccos are almost unbeatable. Okay, so for Yin Yang, yeah, I think my live stream is just running through my it's just running through my laptop's microphone. I hope that's okay, guys. If it isn't okay, then I'm sorry about that. But yeah, sorry about that. If it's not, if the sound is a little bit janky, I apologize. Okay, cool. Yin Yang, green apple. Also a little bit of dustiness here. There's like a sharp sort of piney thing going on with this one that makes me kind of hesitant to feel like, look, I want to crank this one a little bit more. There is There is quite a nice sweet roundness to it, but I'm also sensing a slight little bit of harshness while I'm tasting it um, at 4%, right? I mean, I've just put in like the least amount of nicotine, and for each one, because I can't taste without just a little bit of nicotine in there, it just doesn't feel right. So I put like 0.5% nicotine in there. Um, see what you guys are saying there. Oh, okay. So you reckon apple candy, double apple Fuji, and apple by Pure each add great apple profile. Okay, thanks, Kazor. Or Zor. I'll definitely have a look at that. Not bad. The Wawa is not bad. But I do think that there might be some harshness issues here. It's also not very juicy. Feels a little bit dry. I think maybe that's what that, like, how can I say? That's what that almost like piney feel is. It could be like the harshness also that I'm feeling on my, like in my mouth. But it's not terrible. I wouldn't throw this one away. I think maybe yeah. I think doesn't there's no coolness in the yin yang at all. There is quite a nice aftertaste, on your lips and on your palate from the yin yang. It's just feels like it vapes a little bit harsher. I don't know how to explain that. Okay. So a little bit disappointed in that yin yang. I thought, this is going to be the one because when you smell it out of the bottle over here, it just 100% gives you that green fizz pop, lollipop, candy sort of energy. So I was really hoping that this is going to taste a little bit better. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Um, I would say there's some sweetness to it as well. Definitely useful. I just don't know if that's the one that I'm going to be reaching out for. So I want to move over to the next one. This is Cap Green Apple Hard Candy. So I think I think I have tried this one. I just cannot remember exactly what it tastes like, so I thought I'll do this one again because low key, what I'm looking for is apple candy, like a fizz pop or some kind of really green apple candy. That's what I'm looking for. But I don't want it to necessarily be dry. So that's going to be a mission to find. But let's see. This is a complete departure from what I've just tasted. It doesn't really give me candy at all, to be honest. Maybe slightly, but yeah, I mixed it up at 5%. I was actually thinking, hey, the reason I don't go too much higher than that is because, these flavor actives really, you don't have to mix that high in them to get a good indication of what the flavor is all about. So this hot candy does read a little bit more on the top note side. It's not as full. I actually expected it to be a little bit sweeter, but it's not. Mm. There is a little bit of, I don't know how to express that, but like a little bit more of a roundness to the flavor. So if I had to compare that with a YY that I just baked, it's slightly smoother. You know, that's what I would say when I say roundness. It just rounds off a little bit better on the palate. The YY did feel a little bit harsher right from the go. I don't know if that would steep out. Um, So Liesel reckons, yeah, aloe to counteract the dryness. Yeah, that maybe even a little bit of cactus, but that might bring a little bit of piney notes. Cucumber, but it's difficult to hide cucumber. But I guess if you've got a nice strong green candy apple and you literally just drown it out with that flavor, maybe a layer it with another apple, you know, you would be able to um, counteract any piney notes that you get from cactus or cucumber. Cucumber also really helps, but I do find that super sweet also does really help a little bit, up to a level to give a little bit more body. For me, the juiciness, the only way I can express it is if there's like a reaction in my mouth that makes me almost like salivate, in my mouth, then I have like a juicy experience. So that's what I also look for, and that normally comes from sweetness for me. But things like cactus just feels like it's not dry at all, Yeah. Yes. Yes, Donovan. It does. It does add like a bubblegum vibe. I also get similar things from it. That's another trick, the vet. You can also go for EM, but then of course you risk wiping out some of the top notes. But this is okay if you've got a really prominent flavor, right? And you just wanted to sort of like smooth out the edges of it, going in really low with EM. But I know that that can wipe out some of the top notes. Okay, so there was another YY. Sorry about that. This is my dog barking for people in the road. So I got another YY, and this was for H apple. It's actually like just H apple. I don't know what H apple really stands for. Okay, but let's see. Maybe you can see like this, just like that. H apple. Anyway, you can't see. Don't know what this one is all about, but I thought maybe just getting this one and trying it out. Who knows? Maybe we find something lovely. This one's quite nice. I wouldn't say it's like a green apple. It feels a little bit more like a golden delicious apple, but there's nothing wrong with that. It definitely has a little bit more body than what I've tasted up to this point. There is some sweetness to it. It feels like a fuller vape. So it doesn't read just at the top or just at the bottom. It feels like it's a little bit more full bodied. Yeah. But I do think that if you push this one a little bit further, so I've got it at 4% over here. So if you're going to go, I would say maybe to 5-6%, it's going to start getting a little bit perfumey, soapy, for sure. But maybe if you're interested in like a golden delicious apple rather than a Granny Smith, this could be something that you find interesting. But yeah, it does taste to me like there's a little bit of EM in there. Not bad, but yeah, I think it's gonna go perfumey. I'm not getting that much harshness from this one than what I did with the YY green apple. This one doesn't taste that harsh. Also, no dusty notes on this, so it feels a little bit cleaner. Just want to clean this up. I think it's about time to move to another device. Oh, check this out. I got this shirt from BLCK. It's a drip is forever. And at the back, it's got like BLCK on it. See, quite cool. Really nice quality also. Like the shirt quality, it's not printed on like a sort of cheap shirt. It's actually quite nice quality. So what are you guys up to today? Just chilling out? It's freaking cold over here. Yeah, you need to speak to Rashad, Vet. Okay, so the next one is Country Apple from Pirilim. So I know this isn't a green apple, okay, but it's not red. It's not a red apple, so I thought maybe I'll just throw this in the cart also. And give it a whirl because I've never tasted it and it's not a red apple, so I thought, why not, right? So I think there's going to be like two camps in terms of apples. There's going to be people looking for the magical green apple, something that tastes like apple sours or green fizz pop candy, right? Then there's going to be the other camp of people that is looking for like a sour Granny Smith. Okay. Oh, so I'm using a 5 wrap. What is it? Nichrome N80. This is, and I've got it in 2 citadels. So I've got both exactly the same. The cotton that I'm using is Prime, Cotton Bacon Prime. And yeah, that's seems to be the best for me in terms of cotton, the one that gives me flavor almost immediately. So let's see what this Pirilim is doing, right? Would be nice. I think a golden delicious apple would also be nice. I think the first, yeah, I do. Zor, I still have a Hadley. Yeah. This is this is very dusty. Maybe I went too far with this one, but I went with 4%. It's very in your face for me, but not in a good way. It feels harsh also. I'm literally holding back the cough. I wouldn't recommend this one, to be honest with you. Out of all of them, this is the dusty. This this is the one. Feels like a very old, sort of dusty old apple. I don't know. I don't know what uses you could have with this, to be honest, unless you wanted to put some dust on your fruit, you know. Um, I wouldn't even say this is gold, maybe a little bit more red. This tastes like dusty apple skin. Yeah, this is what it tastes like, dusty apple skin. Oh, okay. Zor. I also, I mean, I do MTL, right? Zor. So this is the Pulse V2, but then I use the V2 MTL RDA on here. So it's quite weird how this was built because it's actually quite a small chamber, all right? I've got an MTL crafted coils, NI80 MTL coil in here. It reads quite high. I mean, I actually took another wrap. I put another wrap on, but I'm vaping it on 20, and it reads at about 1 ohm. But I do MTL. This is my go-to daily vape, and this is the MTL RDA with the most flavor that I've ever tried. It knocks the Holic. I think it was Vapefly, Holic, and the Galaxy from Vapefly. I think it is Vapefly, but it knocks that out of the park. Also, its predecessor has nothing on it. This is quite a good MTL RDA. And I use this because I can go with one of these big batteries for like a whole day, maybe even a morning as well, without having to put a new battery in. Also, I'm not that heavy on juice also, so a night out and about one of these, just filling it up is good for a night out. I always have some in the car extra, but um, yeah, that's why. And the funny thing is, or the the Holic, if you go and read online, they rate that Holic MTL RDA one of the best. And even the Galaxy is also rated as one of the best. And I actually didn't enjoy that. I tried everything to get some flavor out of that, and I couldn't. So when it broke, I carried on using it, but when it broke, then this was the only, because MPL RDAs is not really something that the market has, and I found one, and I was quite surprised with the flavor on it. But anyway, let me move further. Okay, so this is the one, FLV Granny Smith. Okay, like I was saying, there's going to be two camps: one that's looking for green candy, other one looking for good old Granny Smith that works, right? And this is the one that Devet has recommended. I went with 2% here. Okay, so I don't know if that's too much or too little. What do you think, Devet? We are on FLV Granny Smith now. Previously, it was Parallel Country Apple, and it was gross. It was dusty and gross. I wouldn't recommend it at all. But let's see what this FLV Granny Smith is all about. Okay. Okay, so this is, in terms of all of them that I've tried so far, feels like it doesn't. I would say there's still candy elements to this, okay, but there's enough apple in there, green apple. I think there's so much uses for this. It's kind of got a nice mouthfeel to it. It doesn't taste dusty at all. Not that harsh. And I've got it at 2%, so quite low. And it's giving me quite a fuller experience in terms of apple. Not bad. This would be one that I would recommend if you like apples. I just don't know what's going to happen when you start pushing this, but I feel you could layer this with another apple, maybe something that's got a little bit more top notes to it, and get quite a lovely green apple. You know, at the vet, post your recipe. I did get your recipe. Post your recipe in chat there for the people, please. You know, if you want to, of course, but you're welcome to. Little bit of harshness, but I think that will steep out. But quite delicious. FLV Granny Smith, I enjoy that one. So the next one is Flavor West Green Apple Natural. Let me just clean this out. Here we go. So, Flavor West Green Apple Natural is the only apple, you know, that's got like a bronze sort of tinge to it. All of the other apples are see-through, right? This one is the only one that's got like a bronze tinge to it. And it does make me fear for my life a little bit, you know, because what have they done here? Why is it so bronze? Why or golden? What is in here? When it comes to Flavor West, you have to ask those questions. Okay, so okay, out of the bunch, this one is called it's called Green Apple Natural from Flavor West. Okay, so it's not just a normal Flavor West green apple, it's called the Green Apple Natural. I'm enjoying this one actually. So it is sweeter, 100% is sweeter. Not bad. It's not that dusty. You know, I can barely sense any dust on this one. It does feel like it's got a little bit more body to it than some of the other ones that I've vaped. It feels even less harsh than some of the other ones that I've already vaped. Like I said, it is sweeter. Let's give it one more. This could be a good option also as part of like a layer, you know, for creating an apple. I know everybody reaches out for Fuji and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want to go into the realm of red apples and you want to build a green apple, you know, with green apple concentrates, this could be a good option. God knows what's in here, but it doesn't taste too bad. Also, it's a little bit sweeter and it's not that harsh. But I'm not getting that sour, green apple energy from this. I do get a little bit more, almost like a more of a golden delicious apple to this. It's not that green, but it's not unpleasant. Okay. Oh, the vet doesn't want to let you post. Let's just see here. Okay, the vet, I've added you as a moderator. So see if you can post your recipe now. But yeah, this Flavor West Green Apple Natural could be something useful. I wouldn't bin this one. I think you could use this to add a little bit more body to a green apple. But it is a little bit more on the golden delicious side. Sorry, my dogs are just barking, so I'm just muting for a little second. Okay, so the next one here is TFA Tart Green Apple. Okay, so TFA Tart Green Apple, it looked like it was a little bit weaker if I looked at the median, so I mixed this one up at 6%. Okay, this is what I was thinking. So let me just clean this out. Yeah, I didn't enjoy Pearland's apple at all. I felt it tasted like dusty apple skin to me. Just give me a second. Oi! Okay. So let's clear this out. There we go. So this is Tart Green Apple from TFA. And I mixed this up at 6%. This is the highest I've mixed one up. It did seem like people were using it higher. So let's see what happens. Oh man, this one is harsh. I could immediately feel it. As soon as it hit my lungs, I could feel that this one is way more harsh. Oh, wow. Bitterness. I don't know if it's, it could be, what they're trying to do is get more tartness there, but I don't know if I would use this to get tartness in like a Granny Smith apple. And somehow I need to look past the harshness that I'm getting from TFA Tart Green Apple. Because wow, you can immediately taste it. The aftertaste in your mouth is not that bad actually, but I can immediately just feel it in my chest. I think if you push this one, it's going to be unmanageable. At 6%, I'm not really getting that much flavor from this. That apple taste is kind of gone now in my mouth, and I'm just sitting with this bitter sort of taste on my palate. There you go, debate. All right. So I'm actually going to move on to the next device, because that Tart green apple was extremely harsh. So the next one here is YY Granny Smith. So another YY, but I haven't tried this one, so I thought let's give this a whirl. Okay, so for YY Granny Smith, it's not that bad, but I mixed this one up at 4%, and I can taste it. It's there, tastes nice, but it feels like you have to go up way higher. This one's actually pretty good, but it feels like it needs a little bit more power. Let's see. I hate actually adjusting this thing. I mean, I love the noisy, it will last forever, but adjusting it is. Okay, so let's do this because I think there's some potential here. I'm just going to put another 2% in here into YY Granny Smith. Shake it up, and then let's see what happens with it. That would mean that we sit at 6% for YY Granny Smith. Yeah, debate. I'm realizing that with some of the YY stuff, it needs to be a little bit higher. I like this one. This is a good one. I actually like this one. Just excuse me. I just want to go sort out this my dogs quickly because looks like the neighbors are packing or something. Just give me a sec. Sorry about that, guys. So YY is pretty good. Between this and Flavor of, excuse me, not Flavor West. Actually, yeah. Up to now, I would say my favorite so far would be FLV Granny Smith. Flavor West, Green Apple Natural, and YY Granny Smith. Personally, I don't mind a natural tasting apple, but I am on the look for a more sort of candy apple, fizz pop, green apple vibe. So this is pretty good. You can definitely use this as a candy. I don't think it's like a realistic. I wouldn't say this is on the Granny Smith sort of like realistic side, but this is pretty good. I can recommend this one for sure. Okay, so yeah, I think Liesel, I think if you use it in the correct way, I think the bitterness can have usage. But you know, I don't know how that reads, in mixes. Like, I actually, I'm not a huge fan of like a bitter note in my mouth, especially if it sits like on your palate. So this is TFA Green Apple. I mixed this one up at 5%. Mm. So at 5% on TFA Green Apple, right? Yeah, it's just TFA Green Apple. There's no dustiness, there's no harshness really, but there's not that much flavor. There's also not a lot of sweetness here. So there's definitely uses here. I think this one wouldn't be terrible if you want to make it part of a mix, but I wouldn't call this like a flavor to hero, in a recipe, because it just doesn't read high enough. It doesn't have a lot of body to it. Uh, but this could be something that you use, as part of a mix. I'm not sensing that much dustiness from it, but let's actually give it a little bit more. Let's see. Mm. It's not terrible. TFA Green Apple isn't terrible. I've already tasted worse, just this morning. But I don't think this is something that I would reach for when I'm building like a green apple recipe. This wouldn't be the one that I go for. But it's not unpleasant, so it's just not my favorite. Okay. Molenberry. Okay. So for Molenberry, I could barely even smell this out of the bottle. I could barely even smell this, So people are using this in recipes at around like 3%, 4%. So I decided to go with 5%. This bottle looks like, see the little top bit broke off. So I'll have to can this bottle, after this. But at least we get one usage out of it. There's nothing worse for me than to throw away plastic stuff. I try and get as many uses as I possibly can out of these guys. So when it breaks off, there you can see it broke off. It kind of annoys me a little bit, but it is just an HDPE. bottle. So much less body on Mullenberry. There is definitely, I can taste the green apple. There's not a lot of sweetness to this. But it's actually not bad. I think if you crank this one up a little bit more, it will be quite pleasant, but it does read a little bit higher. This is not unpleasant. This is workable for sure. Quite a yummy sort of like taste left on your lips from this one. I would say that this is giving me more candy energy than real apple. So yeah, this is definitely one to consider. Not bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just up it a little bit, okay? I'm going to up this by another 2%. It's already at 5%. But let's see if I just up it and what happens, because I'm quite enjoying this. This room is already quite cloudy in here. I don't know if you guys can see, but I closed it because my dogs are barking the whole time, you know. So I apologize, but it's just how life goes. Okay, let's see what happens at 6% for Mullenberry. Much better. Much better. Almost zero harshness to this one. I find it quite pleasant, actually. No sourness to it. So if you're looking for that sour tartness, this might not be the one, but there you could bring this in, you know, as part of a mix. I think Mullenberry has done a good job here, to be honest with you. In terms of like harshness, there's like almost zero harshness on this, no dustiness. So it's a very unused apple, you know, but you're going to have to crank this one quite a bit. Let me just... Out of all the apples, this one also feels like a little bit more juicy. Yeah, this one feels a little bit more juicy. So if that is what you're looking for, if you struggle with dryness, this might not be a bad bet. The vet, you're asking, what would I pair it with? In terms of these apples, or are you talking about like other recipes? I think, you know, I'm thinking like a grape and apple, or like a cranberry and apple would be nice, or like even raspberry and apple would be nice. That kind of thing would be quite nice. Yeah, that's how I would use it. You know, for yeah, this one's good. I can recommend this one, but you need to crank it. at about 6%. Same as some of the YY. Yeah, definitely the vet. Pairing it with pear would help. I mean, FA pear, what is it? FA pear. I have to be careful with that one because it gets dusty. But we'll give a little bit more body to it. I think as part of any berry kind of recipe, it will give a nice spin to that, because I mean most of the fruity recipes, excuse me, most of the fruity juices, right, have got apple juice in it. So the other day I love red grape juice. Even one of my one shots with BLCK is like a red grape, right? And it's more of an authentic red grape than the like purple sort of candy. And what I was looking for, um, when I created that was exactly that, for like that juice, right? Red grape juice. And when I buy apple juice and when I buy a lot of fruit juices, I can sometimes taste the apple in there. So, okay. So the next one is Frandy. Frandy also, I believe it's Malaysian, rebranded here in South Africa, but you can find this at BLCK if you are looking for it. I've got two Frandies here that we're going to try out. So let's see. This one is called Twisted Apple. Frandy Twisted Apple. A little bit of harshness on this, also a little bit of dustiness on this. I mixed this up at 5%. Of course, we couldn't, there's not a lot of information on ELR with this flavor, also not a lot of recipes on this. But I am tasting a little bit of dustiness on this one. There is like a sharp harshness to it also. Not so much sweetness. Not my favorite one out of some of them that I've tasted. Quite sad because it does smell quite good, but yeah, it's not giving me what I'm looking for here. Okay, so the next one is just green apple from Frandy. I think this one is quite different. Quite different. Green apple from Frandy reminds me more of something a little bit more golden. At 5%, it's giving me some flavor, but I was expecting a little bit more from it. No dustiness though, but I wouldn't say it's a true green apple. Well, especially not in terms of what I believe it is, right? So yeah, I just want a palate cleanser here. Okay, the last one. I just included this one because I wanted to try it again. Okay, so Cap Double Apple. I know that there is a lot of people are using this one, you know, in recipes where it's either a red or a green apple. Uh, so this is also one of the favorites. So I wanted to test this one again. I know this is not a true green apple, but I just wanted to give it a go. Now that I've got a good sense of what all the other apples are doing. Um, this one is giving me more like authentic apple juice kind of flavor. It's not awful at all. If you're looking to create like an apple juice, I could see this one forming part of that recipe. Um, it does have a very forward uh, EM tasting, you know, sweetness to it. No dustiness, no harshness in this one, so I can see why people use this. Yeah, you could use this. You could definitely use this to give more body to a apple that's got more top notes. Yes, the bit. Mm. That's what I would do here. Also, I think it's. I think in yeah that I think if you're going for candies, all right, this might not be a terrible idea to add in as part of. I mean, if you're not going to go the Fuji apple route, right? Because Fuji apple is quite prominent, so you can taste it's a Fuji apple. But this one here is very useful, I believe, because you could use this as part of an apple recipe or as one element of an apple layer, right? Just to bring forward that you know, that candy sort of juicy flavor, you know. Mm, quite pleasant, uh, quite a pleasant apple flavor. No harshness on this, no dustiness. So yes, I I think this one is useful. So we tested 14 flavors. All right. Now, if I had to recommend what I think would be good options here, so I would say um, FLV Granny Smith. FLV Granny Smith would be a good option. Granny Smith from YY. Both of these give you that like a more of like a sour top note. You can work that quite nicely, you know, within an apple recipe. Um, then another one that's similar to that, but it's a little bit weaker. You have to push it a little bit more. Would be Molenberry Green Apple. I also enjoyed this one. And then in terms of body, I would say double apple from Cap, or green apple natural from Flavor West. So there you go. That is what I would reach out for. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope this was useful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I test these. It's always fun to chat with you guys and connect again. You know, again, thank you so much, Rashad from BLCK, for the cool T-shirt. Guys, you can get this if you want. from BLCK. It's really nice. It's a nice shirt. It's good quality. And then I'm also going to just drop a link in chat for verses. You'll see in the verses one-shot line. There's all kinds of local mixes in there with all kinds of one-shots. You'll also find their names on there, and you can support us. It's a collaboration line. I'll put that in chat for you guys. Go check it out. It would be lovely if you can support us. And then finally, come and join Mixologist. I know that it's been quiet on a lot of the DIY groups, but you know what? It's up to us. You know, it's up to us to get the scene back on track again. I think a lot of us have gone through quite a bit in these last, you know, two years. It's been tough. But one thing that still keeps me happy is vaping, you know. So let's get the scene rolling again. I've just posted Mixologist in the chat, so check that out. And thank you so much for joining, guys. Like I said, in terms of green apples, Molenberry, green apple, but you have to crack it to 6% at least, if that's the hero of the mix. FLV, Granny Smith, really good. I only tested it at 2% and it was quite full bodied. A lovely apple. And then Granny Smith from YY. So I also like this one. I started out at 4%, but I went up to 6%. And it's quite delicious. Then in terms of bodies for that apple, I would suggest Flavor West green apple natural and cap double apple, you know, just to fill out that green apple. So enjoy, guys. I would love to see some recipes. Please post them on your DIY groups and also on Mixologist. So enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week. And thank you so much for being here. Cheers, guys.